It's on, yeah. So, this film is a sequel?
Yes.
Woo! Yes. But you weren't involved at all in the first film.
No.
So how did you get to make the second film? Vous avez vu c'est une suite? Vous avez vu Becky? Non, pas Becky, hein. Becky. So, merci. You haven't seen the film, so you haven't seen Becky.
Okay.
So you haven't seen Becky.
That's okay.
What is it about? And
so the first Becky kills Nazis.
Oh, don't get me wrong, we did a lot of Nazis.
Yes, we are. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And this time she kills Proud Boys.
Yes.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, we like to kill Proud Boys.
Wouldn't we all? So, what to?
What does that mean?
Don't want to know. Good job. He's just desperate for attention. Don't! Jesus, don't! Suzanne! Oh my god, I know you're jet lagged, but come on! There's decency. So woke. Anyway, you're coming in real life, you have a baby with you here.
Yes.
How does it work to make a movie together when you also have your own family and you all live together? How does...
When we filmed this, she was 7 months pregnant.
I broke 3 chairs.
How did she did?
You broke 3 chairs because you couldn't handle it, you were like, fuck you!
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We just fight a lot. I'm joking.
I mean, there's enough fighting in the couple as you do so. When you do film, there's fighting on top of that. And
it's controlled fighting.
Yeah, we do a good job of separating the two.
yeah, so it's not like, you know what? Yes, that's the shot I want because I kept the kid last night, so...
Well, we haven't been on set since we had the kid, so that could happen.
That could happen.
All right, good stuff. I think people are ready for the film.
Okay, great.
Okay, yeah.
Enjoy. What is that word? What does that mean?
Who's a proud boy now?
Fuck me.
Babia.
Speaks English.
You speak English, okay.
Babia. Don't do it to them.
I won't.
All right, you gonna start?
Yeah, if you can ask me to say camion and then you can touch them and I'll say quit. True story. Go. Ask me to say camion.
Say camion.
Welcome to Brussels.
Okay! Shut up! Okay, we're gonna sing for you, okay, ready? First I was afraid, I was petrified. Thinking I would never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I'd be strong. I learned how to play along, and now you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed, I should have lied, I should have made you change to me. But I know for 1 second you went back to follow me. Oh, now go, walk out the door, just turn around now. You're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to break me? Think I crumbled. Think I lay down and I don't know my life.
Thank you very much, Suzanne. On vous gâte encore plus parce qu'il y a un Q&A après le film, entre les deux films, donc vous aurez une petite pause. Alright. Volgende kortfilm is Gnomes. Niet minder dan 14 kortfilms voor regisseur Ruan Suresh Hegeman. Maar het is met deze film dat hij uiteindelijk een prijs wint voor een van zijn kortfilms op het Festival International de Terror de Valparaiso. Donc le mec il a fait 14 films, 14 courts-métrages. Et avec celui-là, il a enfin gagné un prix. Et ça, c'est la résilience. Et sur l'affiche, il est écrit en grand ça, avec Maurice Trustful. Ouais, j'ai été regardé, mais j'ai rien trouvé. Bon. En dan de tweede langspeler van de film, deuxième long-métrage, c'est Kill Her Goats. Je vais pas vous mentir, hein, j'ai un peu recherché, quand je fais des recherches sur le film, j'ai un peu été regardé sur les comédiennes, enfin, j'ai été sidetracké, hein, j'ai été voir d'autres sites, je ne cache pas, parce que, en gros, le pitch du film, vous me dites, ça vous plaît, c'est des playmates qui se font défoncer par une chèvre. Une chèvre avec une tronçonneuse. Et donc, exactement. Et donc, à mon avis, Steve Walsh, le réalisateur et scénariste du film, à mon avis, il a commencé, parce que son précédent, c'est un peu pareil, il écrit son film, il dit alors, c'est des playmates. Ok, ça c'est un bon début, ça c'est génial. Et puis il regarde par la fenêtre, il fait oh ouais, il est cher. Fini. In de rol van de killer is wel geen playmate, maar wel de ongelooflijke Kane Hodder. Niet Odor, maar wel Hodder. Wel alles te maken met de Victor Crowley van Hatchet. Dus je kennen hem wel. Het is een Europese première, sorry. En ik zou graag Raven Banner willen bedanken voor deze film. Quelqu'un qui a perdu un bout de ballon. Impossible. Venus, court-métrage français de Miguel Dussa et Yolande Nilo. Et quand j'ai demandé à Marie, ma copine ici au BIFFF, qui travaille pour l'organisation, qui a vu le film, si c'était bien, elle m'a juste répondu « Oh non, c'est dégueulasse ». Donc ouais, bien. Goed, en dan VHS 1999. Est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un ici qui est né après 1995? Vous savez ce que c'est une VHS? Non, vous savez pas ce que c'est une VHS. Vous ne connaîtrez pas l'horreur de devoir chercher un film qu'on a enregistré après un autre film dans une pile de cassettes qu'on n'a pas éditée. Ou d'essayer de regarder. Moi, j'ai une Usual Suspect, on me l'avait prêté, ouais. Et ben, Usual Suspect avait été enregistré sur tellement une cassette qui avait servi à tellement d'autres films que j'ai rien compris. Je captais que dalle, sauf à la dernière scène, quand tout d'un coup on remarque qui est le tueur. Donc, j'ai juste eu un spoil sans comprendre l'histoire. Vous savez quoi, si moi on me l'a spoilé, c'est quelques spécies. Hein. Bon. Si vous ne l'avez pas vu, vous ne le verrez plus. Parce que justement, il y a quelques spécies dedans. Goed, nu de VHS-anthologie hier, daar bestaan al 6 films van. VHS 1, VHS 2, VHS Viral en dan, een beetje raar met het tellen, VHS 94. En dan, VHS 99 en dan VHS 85. Dus goed tellen. En je weet wel, wie was er voor de film hiervoor? Kids vs. Alien? Kids vs. Alien was een kortfilm van een van de VHS 2 dacht ik. Dus op die manier komt er soms wel langere speelfilm uit van deze VHS. En ook een van de segmenten werd geregisseerd door Joseph en Vanessa Winter. Die kwamen hier op het BIFFF als gast. Donc ils sont venus, Joseph et Vanessa Winter qui ont fait un segment ici VHS. Avec Deadstream, ils étaient venus l'année passée. Het is een Belgische première, dus dan ga ik die Exchange, Shudder en AMC willen bedanken voor de kopie van de film. Court-métrage. Avant le dernier film, c'est Nian ou Nian. Première mondiale du cours de Michel Clusiec. Ouais, et voilà. De toute façon, il y a plus que la moitié qui dormira déjà, et on sait qu'elle a déjà planté sa tente. Last film, Love Will Tear Us Apart, réalisé par Kenichi Ugana, de qui nous avions montré Wild Virgins, qui avait déjà réalisé Rolling Marble également. Un film qui vogue, enfin une filmographie plutôt qui vogue entre drame et trucs alors complètement starbés, avec des écolières japonaises. Pas bien. Trop d'enthousiasme masculin là. En deze film zit inderdaad exact tussen die twee werelden en een echt goede casting. En een ho mai Sayako Bota, Yuzo Aoki, Riko Fukikoshi et son frère Mitsuru Fukikoshi. Et vous savez qui a fait la lumière du film? Tomoki Iwakura. Et en plus, c'est une première mondiale et j'aimerais remercier Vandalisme pour la copie du film. Et puis à ce moment-là, c'est... Ah, vous allez vous réveiller, enfin certains d'entre vous. Les autres vont se décoller les petites mouchettes des yeux et vous aurez droit à une bonne petite coupe, une bonne petite jatte et vous vous demanderez qui s'est passé exactement, qu'est-ce que je fous là? Et vous allez prendre votre premier métro, je l'espère, parce qu'en voiture, ce sera déconseillé. Et bien voilà, c'est terminé. J'espère que vous avez passé. J'ai rien préparé. Vous avez eu la chance, j'avais justement dans ma poche. Est-ce que je peux demander à mon comparse de chansons de toutes les nuits de venir me rejoindre sur scène? David Leclerc. Attends, il y a des... Il y a des micros, tu peux prendre un micro là. Tu prends un micro. Là, un sur la bouche. Quand on va faire la main. Attends, ouais. C'est comment ça marche? Beef by the fair, beef by
Because the movie is a sequel basically. You wrote the script. Can you tell us something more about the development of the script, since you were not really involved with the first movie? Can you tell us something about that?
Yeah, so we were contacted by the producers at Boulder Light Pictures, and they said, look, we know, you guys are just coming off something and you didn't have anything to do with the first one. Would you guys be interested in coming on board to do a sequel to Becky? And we kind of immediately thought, yeah, that would be really fun. Like, we love the first one, it's very fun. We have a lot of ideas for how we'd want to do a sequel to like kind of make it its own thing. And they said, okay, great, you have 3 weeks to write the movie. And we were like, oh, okay. So we wrote the movie in 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. And then it all just moved very quickly. But for us, having not had anything to do with the first one, the second one we knew that we wanted to make it something that would appease the fans of the first one, but also bring in a new audience. So that if you haven't seen the first movie, you can still watch the second movie, and we'd give you just enough, hopefully, that you understand what you needed to understand or take away from the first film, but still totally be able to enjoy the second film as its own movie. And that was kind of what we wanted to do and what we set out to do. Yeah.
I thought it remained extremely faithful to the original, because I even thought at first that it was the same directors who made it, but no. What kind of elements and techniques did you use to ensure that you kept the same spirit of the first one?
Well, I think the spirit of the first one is Becky, like her attitude and she's just a character, and so, the first film was more handheld. We did go handheld more towards the end in specific scenes, but regardless of how we moved the camera, as long as Lulu was in front of it, you're going to stay faithful to the first one in some regards, because she's so magnetic and no one else can play this role. Like, it doesn't matter who's directing it. If there's no Lulu, there's no Becky, so.
She's also someone who is, despite her very young age, has also already some experience with horror. Like, she was in Ouija, Origin of Evil, in the TV series Haunting of Hill House. Did she contribute something to the horror elements of this story?
I mean, she contributes to everything. She's like the craziest person ever, in the best way. Like, she's in blood. Like, we shot this movie in 18 days in the middle of New Jersey, and she's covered in dried blood for half of the movie. And whenever we'd say we need more of this, she'd be like, okay. I mean, she just comes from this world, right? Like, she understands more blood is always better. So that means her own sacrifice of sitting in dried blood. It's horrible, you guys. Like, it's an awful experience, and she'd just be sitting there like, okay, more blood is great,
Yeah, and you said it. Lulu is the brand, like she is Becky. I'd add that, we wanted to, how do you make a sequel feel like its own thing, but also stay true to the material that, Carrie and John brought to life in the first one? I think we found ways to do that while also trying to evolve Becky as a character from a 13-year-old girl to a 16-year-old girl, and evolve the camera movements from more handheld to smoother, kind of sleeker feel throughout, to kind of evolve the cinematography in ways stylistically that were like smoother and sleeker, to go with her character, who is smoother and much more kind of calculated in this movie. She's going to them, they're not coming to her, those kinds of things. So we really just tried with our camera to embody that. There's also just a rhythm to this film that we wanted to establish that I think we had a lot of help from our editor, Stephen Boyer, who really got our vision for the pacing and everything, and how we wanted it to move. And I think all of those things helped kind of make it a movie that can stand on its own 2 feet whilst also being true to the original material.
Can we maybe stick to the character herself? when it comes to the psychology, if you compare the Becky with the first movie and now here, we can actually say that she became like a psychopath. Is that like an evolution that we can see through the two movies, or was it more like, okay, in this movie we'll just reinvent her? How was it for you to make that evolution?
Well, I think we needed to find the humanity in Becky. So we needed that first act of the film to really meet Elena and get to know like who she is now, having had things calm down. And the hope is that you find some of that humanity in Becky and you see how she's coped with her trauma over a couple of years, so that then when an attack does come, you get to kind of unleash the wrath of Becky. And you get to lean into kind of those psychopathic tendencies that make it fun, whilst also trying to maintain that she's human and she's not a bad person. Like, she has a soul and she has a heart. And there's moments that hopefully come through in this film where you see a beat of that, and then she kind of goes back into her wrath and loses herself. But yeah, I think hopefully we walk a little bit of that line.
So maybe there is already a question coming from the audience. Est-ce qu'il y a déjà une question dans la salle? Is er een vraag in het publiek? Ja, we hebben nog een vraag. While we make everything in order with the microphone there, I'd like kindly to welcome our viewers on YouTube, because this is live streamed. Do not hesitate to put your questions in the chat, because we are able to bring your question right to the directors here on stage. So let's go back now to the question in the audience.
Hello. Hi. Asking a question. How was it fun to work in this movie, and how was it compared to a maybe more serious movie to work with? Is it more fun or light in the set or everything, or is it like a regular movie, or did you guys have more fun maybe because it's a more light-hearted movie?